Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online, and in today's video I thought I'd talk a little bit about some ISK generation, some easy ISK generation. And what I mean by that is some activity in EVE Online that makes me ISK, and that is very low effort, very low time required. And I constantly mention it in my Sunday recaps. The biggest part of that are my blueprint copies. That business is working really well. So here we go. Today I have a full batch of blueprint copies ready. So first of all, of course, I'm going to deliver these. So let's do that. We do this in corp jobs so that my brother could help if he comes online. And then of course you want to take all of these blueprint copies. So let's grab these. And we'll bring those to Jita and sell them on contracts. So you can see now that these are normally 16 of them, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And these at the moment are selling in between 4 and 5 million ISK a piece. And I usually manage to sell all of them. So it's not like I have a huge backlog that is building up in Jita or something like that. These blueprint copies that I'm producing, I'm actually managing to sell them. Now, in order to produce more blueprint copies, it's very easy, of course, especially when it's in my own Raitaru. The way I'm doing it is 2 job runs, 5 runs per copy. So that means you get a little bit less than 1 million per copy for a blueprint or per run. For a blueprint, and then just press start. You can see it's around 4 days and 8 hours. So this is, I can do this probably 6 to 7 times every month. I tend to try to switch it up a little bit. It's true that some of them are more common and sell for a lower price, especially from time to time. It's not like it's a super steady market. There is competition, of course, but that is of course the next thing that I'll do. I like the market one. This one tends to sell pretty damn well, and I think it's been a while since I've done storage. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get started. Reprocessing plant. 5, and now I have 2 more jobs, so let's choose medical and laboratory. Not always that great. I think hangar and then the repair one is probably what I'm looking for. So there we go, and repair systems. There we go. So now all I have to do, wait another 4 days pretty much, and then I'll have another 16 of them. Let's do a quick calculation. 4 million a piece times 16 is, let's say, 70 million, you know, round it down a little bit. You can do that 6 to 7 times a month. So I think that 70 times 7 would be 49. You can definitely make 400 million in a month just from this activity. The one thing that you don't see, of course, is the trip that I do to Jita back and forth in order to get the contracts going. I'm not going to do that because it does take around 10 minutes to go to Jita in the interceptor, and then it takes around 10 minutes to get back as well. But these are the blueprint copies that are selling very nicely and very steadily. I have a few others as well, but those are a few jumps out in lower levels, so we'll quickly jump over there as well. And I don't think that both of them are ready. These are personal jobs here. So I have a Raitaru blueprint and an Astraus blueprint that I'm selling as well, of course. These are selling for, I would say, 15 million. Yeah, I think that's the current going price in Jita, and that again does make me a little bit of money as well. Let's round it down to 10 million a piece, but they also don't take 4 days. So while on one hand I might have to do a few extra trips in Jita to get a few extra sales going. If we can get 20 million every 3 days, 10 times, you know, that's another 200 million from those blueprint copies every month as well, bringing us to a total of 600 to 700 million is definitely doable. And all I have to do is every 2 to 4 days just deliver my jobs, set up some new ones, and go over to Jita, sell them on contracts. So I think that this is definitely one of those activities that can make you good ISK without all too much effort. Now, You may say, well, it's maybe a mistake of me to share this because now a lot of people are going to try to do the same thing. Well, there is a disadvantage, or I should say there is a limit, of course, to how much ISK you can make. If everyone starts doing the same thing, the value of these blueprint copies is going to drop. But I'm actually pretty sure that there's other blueprint copies that you can make that can get the same result. And for me, it's always been about sticking to one account, managing one account, and finding easy ways to do what I want to do in EVE Online without having to go overboard. So you have to realize that activities like this, they don't scale endlessly. I cannot start 10 tunes, do the exact same thing on all 10 tunes, and then expect to make 10 times more ISK every month. It just doesn't work that way, because at some point in the sandbox economy, you are going to flood the markets with too much stuff, and then of course prices are going to decline. So here is the second set. Although I can only bring back one here, it's the Raitaru, so let's press deliver. Why do I do the Raitaru and the Astraeus blueprints inside an NPC station? It's just for safety. This is worth 4 billion. I think the Astraeus one is worth 7 billion. I just don't feel like risking traveling with these kinds of ISK in cargo holds. Although in Tech Tree ships, you know, I might be able to do that at some point. I just, you know, I'm pretty cool with doing it this way. It's not the most efficient, but for me, it gives me a little bit of ease of mind, basically. And so here again, very simple. I do this for 1 run copies. These only take 2 days and 8 hours to create. So let's press start. And I think the Raitaru one is around 3 days and a little bit. So if it wants to load, there is a little bit of lag on the industry window. There we go. Oh damn, I forgot to take a look at the job costs. It's more substantial. There we go, 600,000 ISK taken off. So it's actually gonna be close to 30 million that I'm making from these 2 blueprint copies, bringing them over to Cheetah. And here is my bounty. Estimated value 0. Actual estimated value is probably somewhere around 55 million, I think. I can do that every 2 to 4 days, depending on how often I feel like making a trip. Sometimes, of course, I can skip one of the Raitaru blueprints runs and then just go with 2 of them. But I do feel like sticking to it as closely as possible is in your best interest, because you want to spread your supply out as much as possible so that you can let's get over to detail, so that you can basically spot changes in the market as quickly as possible. For instance, if structure repair facility blueprints are no longer selling all that well, I'm starting to actually build a bit of a reserve in Cheetah. Then I know, well, if I come back every 4 days, I'll know immediately, you know what, hold off on the structure repair facility blueprints and switch to a few of the other ones in order to allow for that to rest a little bit. And so sticking with it, going every 2 to 4 days whenever a full run is done, is pretty important just for your efficiency. But so far, honestly, all of this gets sold every single time I bring them on the contract. It's not like I'm sitting on dozens and dozens of them and that it keeps growing every week or every month. I'm getting rid of these at really good prices, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a little bit less. It all depends on how much effort I want to put into actually researching the contracts market at any given time as well. You could definitely do more efficient ways and you can also get more out of the blueprint copies than what I'm doing, but this is easily funding everything that I need and that I want in EVE Online at the moment. So supplemented with a little bit of mining and a little bit of exploration, I think it's actually pretty easy for me to be able to flex my account if I would want to. It's not what I'm looking for at the moment. I'm looking to get my wallet up to 20 billion, so that depending on what Plex are going to do, there are 2 theories. One, they could go back up to 1.2 billion, then I'm selling the 8 that I have remaining. If they ever drop to below 900 million, I'm going to buy a lot of them at that price with the liquid ISK that I want to have ready by that time. And then another activity that is every 24 hours that you probably already know or will have guessed, that is easy ISK for very little effort. It is PI. basically all you need to do is activate your extractors. Here again, I don't do this in the most efficient way. I'm not here to eke out every single cubic meter that I can. It's just the routine, get through this pretty easily and pretty quickly, and then around once every month I go and sell my PI off to in Amar at the moment, because it's only 8 jumps away, a bit less risky. And I think 150 to 180 million is definitely possible every month with this HiSec setup at the moment. It is true that PI prices are for the most part pretty high at the moment, especially for the stuff that I'm making. I know from Eve Talk that coolants, that mechanical parts, and that what am I making here? So coolant mechanical parts, and that the here we go, superconductors are actually in a really good spot to sell straight to the market at the moment. And so in a bad time, it's possible that your revenue is going to drop substantially from your HiSec planets, depending on what you make. But for me at the moment, I must say that just a HiSec PI setup like this one for 6 planets will easily fuel 1 or 2 of your structures. It'll definitely fuel an Astraeus like this one, for instance. So there you go, guys. I'm now ready to head off to Jita. Let's set the destination right there. I'm going to put all of these on contracts, make myself a nice little bit of money. And all it took here, there you go, 10 minutes to do basically a full run of getting all the available jobs running and a quick set of PI. Of course, you have a little bit of extra travel time to do, but in an interceptor like this, it's pretty fast and pretty efficient. And this is at the moment one of the routines that I'm keeping up with EVE Online, even when I have hardly any time to play, or if there are problems with the client, such as last week where the rubber banding made Orca mining extremely unpleasant to do. You know, this is something that I keep up with, and as you can probably tell from the numbers, it's actually not bad at all, as long as you don't try to scale that up infinitely. And try to find the right markets to do it in. So that's basically going to be it for this one. A quick tip on how you could make a little bit of easy ISK in EVE Online. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.